third-party content has been copied and communicated pursuant to Part 5A or 5B of the Copyright Act, unless indicated otherwise.
In this lecture, we will look at the synapse, which is the point of connection between the end terminal of one neuron and the membrane of another neuron, and look at how neurons communicate between one another. We will also look at the effects of drugs at these synapses, these points of connection between neurons. The neuron or nerve cell is the most important cell of the nervous system, processing and transmitting information. There are about 100 billion neurons in the nervous system, but no one has actually counted them yet. Neurons come in many shapes and sizes and varieties according to the specialized jobs they perform. Now, communication within a neuron is electrical, but communication between neurons is chemical. Neurons communicate chiefly through the agency of the chemicals they release, and these chemicals are known as neurotransmitters. Neurotransmitters are released by the synapses of one neuron onto the membrane of another neuron. We will focus on the synapse in terms of chemical communication between neurons. Now, the synapse is the point of connection between the end terminal of one neuron and the membrane of another neuron, and I'll show you a diagram in a moment. But communication between neurons occurs through the release of neurotransmitters into this synapse. The transmission of information is one-directional, from the terminal called the presynaptic membrane across the synaptic cleft to the receiving postsynaptic membrane. Now, the synaptic cleft is a very, very small space with a gap of about 0.02 to 0.05 microns wide, and it contains a very complex and poorly understood fluid. The postsynaptic membrane contains specialized proteins that act as receptors for the neurotransmitter. In most neurons, the postsynaptic membrane is usually on the cell body or dendrites, but synapses between axons also occur. In the brain, a single neuron receives input at some 20,000 or 30,000 synapses.